Alright, so now to get your thumb hole in, this is my left hand glove and we're going to be working with the side one. So obviously this is my left and my thumb has to come onto the right hand side here. So you can either do it from this side or the other way, it doesn't matter. But I'm turning in my left one the wrong way and I'm going to skip this first one and I'm going to go into the next one. So skip one, go into the next one. And you need a lot more stitches here. I did about 20 chain. 1, 2, 19, 20. I did about 20 chain and then I'm going to go into the next one. Okay. And you can see more or less if it's going to be alright or not. So then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 left here and 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 left on this side. So all you have to do is just try it on and be sure that it's fitting. The thumb is a little bit of an awkward one. But and it's pulling a little bit in that sense, but it's not uncomfortable or anything, and that's how it will sit on your hand. Now if you don't want to put the thumb hole in, you don't have to put a thumb there, but it just seems to lift up a little bit on the sides if you don't have a thumb. If you don't have the thumb, it lifts up more if you don't have the thumb, so I prefer to have mine like that. And then it'll look like this. It's just really ornamental, you know, it's not meant to keep you warm or anything. But yeah, then do the same thing on your other way. They're equal because you've got 4 left here and 4 left there. And that's how I'm going to do mine. So yeah, so let's get finished and I'll show you how to do the so to make our band, we're going to chain chain 7 and then you're going to do 2 double crochets with 3 chain 2 double crochets in this very first chain. So you do 1 double crochet, another double crochet, and then you do 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and then another 2 in that same spot. 1, 2. Okay, and you just pull it together like that. So all of that 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets were done in the very first chain of that chain 7. And you're going to chain 5, turn your work around, and then you're going to do the same thing in this chain space. Double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the same place another 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And then you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to turn your work around. Then the same thing in this one. Double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and another 2 in the same space. 1, 2, and then you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then you're going to turn your work around and you're going to go in there, double crochet. This is what you're going to do all the way. Now let me just do this one with you. Chain 1, 2, 3, another 2, 1, 2, and then chain 5 again. Okay, so that's all that you do. Now I've got to chain 5 and turn my work around, and you're just making this straight up. Now you want this to be halfway, so basically from here to half of your wrist. So you're wanting this to be kind of halfway with your wrist, just under halfway, because we're going to be joining it onto here, here, and here. So what you do is you've come to where you're supposed to do 5 chain. You just do 3 and then come in to this section over here with a single crochet, chain 3 or 2, it depends on how wide you want it. I'll do my 3, turn it around, and then you're going to finish working your band over here. 1, whoops, 2, 1, 2, 3, another 2 double crochets in here, 1, 2, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you turn your work around, and now you come back on your band again. You do 1, 2 in that same place, 1, 2, and then once again you're going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. Then we're going to come into this middle one. You're going to do just a single crochet, then chain 2 or 3. I just do 2 or 3, doesn't really matter. Double crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and another 2 in there, 1, 2, and then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn your work around and come back in your bracelet with 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. And this one I'm going to be, let's see, it's a little bit far to go. I'm going to do this one in here again in the same place. So do another one, whoops, in the same place as you've just had, the same space as you were in. Then 1, 2, turn your work around, come back on your bracelet, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, finish them in here with 2 more, 1, 2, and then your 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn your work around, come back in your bracelet, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, another 2 in here, 1, 2, and then we're going to, our last attachment, 1, 2, 3, you're going to attach it into this over here with a single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then come back on your bracelet again. So you're going to turn your work around and come back on your bracelet, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2 in here, 1, 2, and then your 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you will just continue like normal because you've now joined them on here. So when you put it on, well, you put your fingers in there. So you put your fingers on there, and then that's what it will look like over there. So I'm just going to finish my bracelet. It's going to come down, and it should be able to clasp over there if you've done it in anyway. So finish your bracelet, you keep going around, and I'll meet you back once I've finished mine. Alright, so once you've got yours more or less the right, well, it actually needs to be the right length for your wrist. I've got, that's my beginning part there, so I've got the beginning part with these 2, and then I used 3 chain 5s on the side. Actually I used 2 here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I've got my 2 like this side and my ending part. So you've got to really go according to yours. It is the best to get this right in the middle. So like I say, make this for half of your wrist, and then this, let me see how long mine is. Now I do have a very small wrist, but basically mine is about maybe 6 inches. It's actually lying a bit, yeah, it's about, mine is about 6 inches long. So depending on how you want to, how long you want anyway, and then you attach it over there. So now you've got a different options. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to end mine, and as I say, it's not the end of the world if you can't get yours exactly in the center, because this is going to be on the other side, but it would be preferable if you do. It just makes it look better. Then this will be in the center of your wrist over here. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish mine off. I did the chain 5 there, and then I did my 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets. Now I'm supposed to do chain 5, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to finish mine off. So I'll maybe just do 1 or 2. I'll do 2 chain, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into this bottom chain 5 like that, and I'm just finishing mine off like that. And then I'm going to bring my yarn through, and I've got a long piece of yarn because I wasn't sure what I was doing here, so let me just pull this through. Alright, and then you're going to finish it off. Now we've got a few different scenarios that we can do to close this. Now, the very first one, which is the easiest one, is simply to, you could have kept this and then just crocheted these together, however, and then you have to get your hand through that, but which works. I mean, I can get my hand through, but it ultimately starts stretching your band. So I'm not going to do that. As I say, that is one way, and if you don't mind it getting a little bit stretched, it doesn't really matter. The other way is, most of my bracelets and that, I use those little hooks. Okay, most of mine I use this little hook. So this is another thing that you can do, is you can sew one of these on and then you can hook. So you'd sew it onto this one and then you can just hook that on there. Okay, so that's another way that you can do it. And then there's another way which I've never done, which I'm considering doing, is get yourself these really small buttons. Even this is slightly large, and then you sew the button on. You can see where you began your work, you've got a chain 5. I'm going to use that to loop mine around. So you can put your button on, preferably put it on the right side like that. Otherwise you have to clasp it underneath. If you don't want to see the button, you could do it that way, but it might be, you're going to have the button pressing on your skin, which I don't want. So you just sew it on here, and then this little loop, you can just loop it over. You've got to be small enough, and then that loop will just come over it like that, and then you'll have a button. You'll have a button on your bracelet side. So it's up to you if you want. I don't mind seeing a button. I actually like it with the button on here versus just this little hook, but either one works. So it's up to you as to what you want to do. I'm probably going to go with the button for this because it just looks a little bit more elegant with the button on this.